You're listening to the weekly Parsha Podcast with Ari Goldwag, recorded with Hashem's never-ending assistance in Ramat Beit Shemesh, Israel, 5785, 2025. This week's Parsha is Parsha's Vayikra. We begin a brand new Sefer, a new book in the Torah, the third of the 5 books. And over the last few weeks, we've been speaking about the construction, the parts of the Mishkan. We spoke about the concept behind the Mishkan, the purpose of the Mishkan to draw us close to Hashem. And now Hashem calls out to Moshe, Vayikra, Hashem and Moshe, and talks to him about the korbanos, the sacrifices, the avodah, the service inside of the Mishkan, what it looks like. And sometimes it might have to do with, there might be a korban toida, a thanksgiving offering, might be korbanos-sacrifices that are related to the holidays that we're celebrating. But mainly, when we think about the korbanos, we think about kapara, we think about atonement. We've done something wrong. We recognize we've done that thing wrong. And we come to Hashem with a korban, with a sacrifice. And in so doing, we express our remorse. We express that we understand we've done what's wrong. And we express that we'd like to change. That's what the korbanos are about. Many of the korbanos, the sacrifices. So it's a powerful idea because, we're in a relationship with Hashem. That means that Hashem expects us to make mistakes. Hashem expects us to do what's wrong. That's part of a relationship, whether it's with our spouses, with our kids, with our neighbors, with our friends, or with Hashem, lahavdil. With God, we also have a relationship, and inevitably we make mistakes. And there's a description in the psukim of what's done when a portion of Am Yisrael makes a mistake. And part of this description, it says, Pasuk says, chapter 4, verse 15, that the Ziknei Ha'eda, the elders of the congregation, get involved and they help to atone for Am Yisrael. So there's a recognition. Of course, there's individual responsibility for what we've done wrong, but there's also a recognition that the elders are the ones who guide us, and they also bear responsibility for what happens to Am Yisrael, the mistakes that we make. And all of this is just to bring us back into a relationship with Hashem. And I'd like to read to you a medrash that's on this pasuk that I just read to you, but it talks about Dovid Hamelech. We're not gonna get to Dovid Hamelech right away, but we're gonna see a beautiful piece in Tehillim, chapter 19 of Tehillim, Parak Yud Tes, and we're gonna speak about Dovid Hamelech's approach to tshuva, and it has everything to do with the korbanos, the way that he did it, the way that we can do it. And at the end, I ask you to hold on till the end over here, because I have a beautiful insight into something that we do all the time, into our tefillah, into the prayer, and the brachas, the blessings that we make. And I think, Chazal say that one of the things that's always needed is to l'chadish b'davar. We need to renew our prayers. We need to have a new insight into prayer. And I think that this idea is helping me, and I hope that it will help you as well to daven, to talk, to interact, to have a relationship with Hashem, with our Creator. Tani Reb Shimon. So the Medrash starts off with something that seems off topic, but it's actually not. The Jewish people have a unique ability. We have the ability, we are professionals. We are professionals. We know how to appease our Creator. Right? It's something that we know, whether it's in our prayers or whether it's with the sacrifices, the korbanos. We know how to appease our Creator. We've done something wrong. We've made mistakes. We know how to return to Him and show Him that we want to be different. We want to change. Rav Yudin Kutoi. Rav Yudin says, you want to know the right approach or the concept, the essence of the concept of what it means to do tshuva, what it means. And by the way, I'll mention tshuva. That's Rosh Hashanah time. That's Yom Kippur. But Chazal says it's a Gemara Rosh Hashanah. It's a Mishnah. Shlesh Parakim Ha'olam Nidoin. Pesach Al Hatvua. Batzeres Al Pilas Ha'olam. Al Piras Ha'ilon. V'Chag Nidoin Al Hamayim. That besides Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we have the 3 regalim. We have the 3 times when Hashem manifests, reveals Himself in the world. It's on Pesach, which was when we had a Geula, redemption, so many years ago, in the year 2448, 3,300 years ago. Or whether it's Shavuos when we receive the Torah, whether it's Sukkot time when we sit in our sukkahs. But in all three of these times, it's a time of din, the Mishnah says. It's a time of judgment, because when Hashem reveals himself to us, so we have to step up in our relationship with Hashem. Pesach, we're going to eat the matzah, we wish we could bring the korban Pesach, we're going to have a beautiful and enjoyable Chag. We're going to clean our houses now, we're in the midst. But all of this is really about our relationship with Hashem. It's a time of judgment, which doesn't mean that, it means that we need to be honest. That's what judgment is about. If we want to have a relationship with Hashem, we need to recognize the things that we're doing wrong, clean it up. But how do you clean it up? And that's what this medrash is talking about. And I think it's very timely. Rav Yudin says it's like these kutai. It's the kind of person, they're very smart when it comes to how they get someone to do them a favor. One of them went, it's a story that happened, he went to a particular woman. He asked, do you have an onion that I could have or borrow? So, min the Yahavale, Amar la, is bitzal bela pita. So, he says, look, what can I do with an onion? Really? Can I eat an onion without some bread to eat it with? Maybe you could let me have a piece of bread. And he says to her, thank you for the bread. Is there such a thing as food without a drink? Could I also have a drink? And in so doing, so he was able to eat and drink. Right? He didn't come at it all at once. Gradually he asked a small thing first, the next thing next, last thing last. And as we'll see in the Psukim in Tehillim Perikutes, we'll see that Dovid Hamelech did a similar thing when he asked, for forgiveness. When he asked Hashem to remove his averis, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he asks him in a way which is little by little, moving up the ladder, first in the sins that I've done by accident, then in the sins that could have been avoided, and then in the sins that I did intentionally. He builds up. We'll see that soon, but the idea is that there's an approach to entering back into a relationship with Hashem when we've made a mistake. Amar Rav Acha, is itza dechakim mishal. Rav Acha tells us there's another example of this kind of incremental way of approaching somebody. This is a slightly different thing. One's incremental, and I ask for a little by a little. But there's another approach. This is kind of a social lesson, but it also will give us an insight into how we interact with others and how we interact with HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we seek to enter into a relationship with Him. So, Rav Acha says there are women who are smart and they know how to ask for something, how to borrow something. You go to your neighbor, you want to borrow their vacuum cleaner, okay? It's Pesach time, your vacuum cleaner is broken. So what do you do? Some women know how to ask and some don't. Here's the example of a woman who knows how to ask. She comes to somebody's house. And in front of the house, there's a wrought iron gate. And the gate is closed. Tara psicha mad pakle. A woman who's wise, even though it's unlocked, or even if the gate is open, she knocks. She knocks on the gate. She doesn't just walk in. So she knocks, and then the woman says, who's there? Shalom aleichem. She says to her neighbor, how are you doing? Mat avido, what are you up to? What's your husband up to? What are your children up to? So before even asking for the thing that she wants to borrow, and this is, by the way, not Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is an understanding of what it means to have a relationship with somebody else. It's not just about getting what you want. It's really about entering into the relationship, which is the point here, because we're talking about we've done something wrong. We want to enter back into a relationship with Hashem. So let's keep that in our minds. But we can understand from a social interaction that when I come in, I want to borrow somebody's vacuum cleaner. So first I say, how are you doing? How's your husband? What are they up to? How's your kids? There's an interaction. There's a connection that's created. You forge a connection first. As I always say to my kids, my older ones love to play with our little 2-year-old son. And some of them like to get in there quick and try to get a hug out of him. But he's not interested. You got to come in with a soft landing, find out what he's interested in, play with him a little bit. Maybe then you can get a hug. Amar la, tav na'ol. Mesiva lo na'ol, mat bayo. So she says, is it okay if I come into your house? Right? This is kind of, the approach is, I'm asking permission to come. I'm asking permission to have a relationship with you. And she says, yes, come in. She says, what do you need? Amar la, islich mekima planis titninli. So she says, there's a particular thing I need to use. I need to use your vacuum cleaner. Can I borrow it? Amar la in. And she says, yes, of course you can. So that's the approach of somebody who has the right, call it social skills, or establishes a relationship first before asking something of someone else. Someone who's not so wise, she goes to her neighbor, Taramashkif. The door might be closed, might even be locked, but she just knocks it down, opens it up, doesn't even knock. She goes straight to the chase. Can I borrow your vacuum cleaner? Love. So the person who's the neighbor says, no way. In other words, there's no relationship established. The Medrash brings another example of this. There's a sharecropper, somebody who works for me. He wants a tip. He wants a raise. Right? So some sharecroppers who are working for their master know how to approach it and some don't. So we're talking about a sharecropper, somebody who works the land. He's dirty. He's filthy. He's putting out the manure in order to get the minerals for the crops. He's full of dirt. He's full of. So a person who is the right kind, who knows how to go in, he notices how he looks. He's aware of what he looks like. He realizes he looks dirty. Avid leiv tov. Sarek sare. So what he does is he switches his mood. When you're involved in work, so you're in a certain mood, he switches to be in a good mood. He combs his hair. Mechaver mani. He cleans his garments. Api tovin. He puts on a happy face. He has a staff in his hand. He looks very austere. Puts on rings on his fingers. And he goes to the owner of the land, the landowner. So he looks all nice and austere, and the owner of the land says, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? He says, I'm well. Doesn't go straight into his request, right? He waits for the master to say, how's the land doing? And so the sharecropper says to the owner of the land, he says, may you merit to be satisfied from the fruits. How are the oxen doing? The animals of burden? You should merit to enjoy from their fat. How are the goats doing? He keeps saying things that express his wish for the master, that his master should have success, that his master should succeed, that he should enjoy the fruits of his earth and of his animals. So finally the master says, okay, what are you here for? He says, I'd like you to give me a raise. I'd like a bonus of 10 dinar. So he says to him, if you want a raise, I'm going to give you 20 dinar. I'm going to give you double what you asked for. So this is what it looks like to have a relationship with somebody. This is what it looks like to, so to speak, get on someone's good side. And it's not about getting the money, as we'll see again, as we said before. It's about entering into a relationship. Let's say you have a sharecropper who's not so wise. What does it look like? His hair is full of dirt. and his clothes are full of manure. Ape bishan, his face looks terrible. He goes to his master, he looks disheveled. He goes to his master. So he asks him, how's it going with the earth? I wish that it would actually produce based on the amount of effort I've put into it. How are the oxen? They're weak. What do you want? Can you give me a raise of 10 dinar? He says, I'm already paying you. Take what I already give you. I'm not giving you anything more. Okay, so all of this is really an introduction to the point. And that is, King David was an amazing aris. He was an amazing sharecropper of God. Right? Think about it. When you think of a king, I don't know about you, but I don't think of somebody who's a sharecropper of God. What was Dovid Hamelech? He was tending to Am Yisrael. He was serving the Jewish people. He was raising the fruits. He was fattening up the cows. He was fattening up the goats so that they would give good milk. That was Am Yisrael. Dovid Hamelech was a sharecropper. Hashem is the landowner, but David was the shepherd of his people. So what does he do? How does he approach it? And this is somebody who has a recognition of his responsibility to the Jewish people. And this is who we need to be, and we need to think this way. So what does he do? He talks about how great Hashem is. I'd like to actually read to you from the Perek Tehillim itself, Perek Yutes. He speaks about the fact that the heavens speak of God's greatness. The work of his hands, the greatness of them is told over by the sky. Every day, every night, it's more and more revealed his greatness. And it's something that you can't even fully express. God created the day, the night. God created the sun and the moon. The sun comes out, it's the shine, it's the amazing life that God gives to us. It's like a chassan, like a groom coming out from his marriage. He's running out to dance with his friends. The heat of the sun, right, just comes out right now for us to see. The heat of the sun acts as God's emissary, as it were, heating up the earth, giving life. And then he switches. The Torah of Hashem is so amazing, it's so perfect. It brings back our souls. The testimony of Hashem, the law of Hashem, is something that we can always hold on to. It makes us wise. Just like the sun is shining bright, the Torah and the mitzvahs also shine for us. They enlighten our eyes. Reverence of Hashem is pure. It stands for us forever. The laws of Hashem are true. All of them together are so righteous, so just. So he goes on to say how sweet and holy and beloved is the Torah. I've been careful to try to keep your Torah, Hashem. But I make mistakes. After I've told you everything about how great you are, after I've told you everything about how awesome the Torah is and how precious it is to me, it's not always easy to keep that Torah. I make mistakes. But for who can understand these mistakes? Clean me off of my mistakes. So he talks about the mistakes, and then he talks about the averis that he's made. Carelessness, not the same as a mistake. Could have been more careful, perhaps. And then the third level is the averis that I made intentionally. I was out of my mind. I was disconnected from you, Hashem. Clean me off of all of these. And he ends up, may my words and my thoughts be desired before you, Hashem. You are my rock. You are my Redeemer. So the Medrash says this was his approach. It was like the sharecropper who came in and knew how to say what the master wants to hear in order to get his raise. Dovid Hamelech wants a raise in his relationship with Hashem. He says, I appreciate the awesome heaven and earth that you've created. I appreciate the Torah and the mitzvahs and your desire to have a relationship with me. And I want to express that I'd like a raise in my relationship. I'd like you to forgive me for my mistakes so that I can enter into a real relationship with you. First he starts off singing Hashem's praises, speaking how the heavens sing his praises. The creations speak of the heavens speak of the greatness of his creation. He goes on and on. He speaks about the Torah. He speaks about how great Hashem is, the sun is, etc. All the way that Hashem interacts with us and gives to us. So Hashem, after hearing all of this, says, okay, what do you want? What did you come for? He says, who understands the mistakes? Please, clean me off of these mistakes. He says, I forgive you. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold these things against you. You obviously want to be different. What about the averes, the hidden things that I've done or I forgot about? I could have been better. Will you forgive those too? Hashem says again, like the landowner, you want 10, I'll give you 20. Please even forgive me, Dovid Hamelech says, for the intentional sins. Don't let the powerful averes have power over me. Let them not rule over me. Remove them from me. Clean me off of this great sin. David is saying, you are a great God. And I have great sins. It's appropriate for a great God like you to forego, to let go of holding against me my great sins. So the pasuk says, for your name, Hashem, for your name, Hashem. We're looking to Hashem for your name. I know you want to manifest through me. I'm the sharecropper. I'm the one who's trying to raise up your kids. But we all make mistakes. The leaders need to, they have to be involved in helping out those who are being led by them. The only way that they can do it is if Hashem says, I'm not going to hold these against you either. I know you want a relationship with me. That's the Medrash. I'd like to share with you a thought that I feel is very strong, very powerful, and it's something that we can incorporate into our davening. It's going to be a little surprising, and I'll tell you, I think it's Parsha Pshat. The simple explanation we see every single day, Baruch Atah Hashem. In our Shmoneh Esrei, I'm going to focus on Shmoneh Esrei. Baruch Atah Hashem, Magen Avram. The words mean, blessed are you, Hashem, the shield of Abraham. Baruch Atah Hashem, Mechai Mesim. Blessed are you, Hashem, you bring the dead to life. Baruch Atah Hashem, Hakel HaKadosh. Blessed are you, Hashem, the holy God. Baruch Atah Hashem, Roifei Cholei Amo Yisrael. You cure the sick of Israel. Baruch Atah Hashem, Boinei Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Hashem, you build Jerusalem. Now, if you look at the Parsha Pshat of the words, it says, I'm giving a blessing to Hashem. Baruch Atah Hashem. I'm saying that He is blessed. God needs my blessing? What does it mean? What does it mean I'm giving Hashem a blessing? Could it even mean that? So there's a Gemara in Brachos, which I'm not going to read inside. I do have it here. I'm not going to read inside. It's a Gemara in Daf Zayin Amud Aleph. Towards the top, it's a famous Gemara. Tanya, Omar R Yishmael ben Elisha. Rabbi Yishmael was the Kohen Gadol, the high priest. And he came inside of the Holy of Holies. Pamachas nichnasti leaktir kitoires lifnai velifnim. He came in on the highest day of the year, the most holy day of the year, on Yom Kippur. And he sees a vision of Hashem, as it were, sitting on his exalted throne. Hashem is the judge. Hashem is judging Am Yisrael, but Hashem is a loving father. And Hashem says to him, Yishmael b'ni, oy b'ni, oy b'ni, oy b'ni. Hashem says to him an unbelievable thing. He says, my son, give me a blessing. And R Yishmael Kohen Gadol says to Hashem, may it be your will, Hashem, that your rachamim, that your mercy overcome your anger. And let your mercy be more powerful than any of your other ways of interacting with Am Yisrael. And be lifnim yeshuas hadin. Judge us outstandingly favorably. Forgive us. Take away our averos. It's Yom Kippur. The Gemara says, what does this teach us? What is the idea of the story? The Gemara says, birkas hediyot. How can a human being give a blessing to God? And by the way, at the end, Hashem nods his head, as it were, and agrees with his blessing. But the Gemara says, how can it be that a human being can give a bracha? What we learn from here is, Al tiyeh birchas hediyot kekal beinecha. Don't ever dismiss a blessing of anybody. Nobody. Someone gives you a blessing, you say amen. You say thank you. But what we see from this is that a human being can give a blessing to Hashem. And what does the blessing look like? It looks like, Hashem, do what you want to do. Be the God, the loving God that you want to be. Have mercy on Am Yisrael. Forget all the anger and all the judgment. Just have mercy on us. That's what the blessing looks like. And I want to say, we talked about the whole time here how Dovid Hamelech interacts as a sharecropper with Hashem, or a good neighbor, knows how to develop a relationship first and then ask for what they need. Then ask to have a deeper relationship. In the case of Dovid Hamelech, forgive my averos. Listen to this. Baruch atah Hashem, Magen Avram, Hashem, I bless you, that you should manifest in the world as you wish, as the shield of Avram, the one who protects the Jewish people who are the main offspring of Avraham. Baruch atah Hashem, Mechayim Amesim, Hashem, I bless you, that you should manifest in this world as you wish by bringing the dead to life. Baruch atah Hashem, Mevarech Hashanim, I bless you, Hashem, that you should manifest in the world as you wish and bring parnasa to Am Yisrael. Baruch atah Hashem, Roifei Choyle Amo Yisrael, Hashem, I bless you, that you should manifest as the healer of Am Yisrael. Baruch atah Hashem, Hamachazir Shechina Salitzion, Hashem, I bless you, that you should manifest in the world as the one who returns his divine presence, as you wish, to Jerusalem, to Yerushalayim. I'm telling you, I've been doing this, having that in mind as I say the brachas, as I say the blessings, and it feels weird to give Hashem a bracha, but at the same time, it's powerful. Don't think that you can't. By having an interaction with Hashem as He wishes, you're understanding what is Hashem's wish. You're understanding what does Hashem want. Hashem wants to manifest Himself, just like the sharecropper the landowner wants to hear from the sharecropper that everything's going well with his land. The animals are growing, etc. The crops are growing, everything. That's the way to approach Hashem. We want forgiveness. We want prosperity. We want everything good. It only comes when we have a real relationship with Hashem. And the way that we get into a real relationship with Hashem is by caring about God's will, what Hashem wants to do. He wants to rebuild Yerushalayim. He wants to cure the sick. It's a prayer. The tefillah we think of as something that's ours, it belongs to us, that we're trying to get from Hashem, but that's not really what it is. Leman shemoi b'ahava. We're doing this, the prayer is really for God's sake, for Hashem. That's the deepest tefillah. And that's what David is doing as well. He's saying, Hashem, you want to shine the sun in the world. You want people to access you and have a relationship with you through your Torah. Forgive us. Now forgive us. Manifest through us. Come into the world through us for your sake. Forgive us for your sake. You're a great God. You understand. You made us. You know what it means. You put us here. Forgive us so that we can continue to bring your will into the world. I want to bless you. I ask you to bless me. Hashem should help us as we prepare for this time of interaction with Hashem. Hashem is going to come down and reveal himself in our lives, whether it's through the mitzvahs, whether it's through the joy, or whether it's through maybe a geula, a redemption, a protection of Am Yisrael in the face of great danger. Whatever it is, we got to be ready for that. Hashem should bless us to be able to see what it is that we can ask Hashem for Him. What it is that we can bless Hashem, as it were, so that He can manifest in the world. Hashem should help us to be able to express that and to be able to receive all the blessings that Hashem wants to bestow upon us, the many, many fold blessing that He wants to bestow on us as we have a true relationship with Hashem. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
This podcast was made possible through the gracious donations of listeners like you. For more podcasts like this, please visit www.arigoldwag.com or search on iTunes Ari Goldwag.